All right, hey Colton, this is the second half of quadratic formula. This is 3-6. We're going to do the discriminant part of it today, okay? So here we go, discriminant. Let's go off to the side over here. Let's go ahead and write the off in this little, you guys see this little bit over here on the right at the top, the little those little lines? Let's write out the quadratic formula. Do you have it memorized?
Yes.
Do you know it yet? Yeah? B plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay. However you have it memorized, there it is. Okay? Yes, dear.
Are you gonna leave that up there?
We'll see.
I just write it on my homework.
Okay. All right, so this is the entire quadratic formula. This is solving for x. So like x equals that stuff, and this tells me where he's going to cross, right? He might cross once, he might cross twice, he might cross not at all, right? But this tells me this, okay? This guy right here, just the b squared minus 4ac, he has a special name, and he is called the discriminant. Carson, are you watching this? You better write this down, kid. Discriminant, just the b squared minus 4ac. A lot of people get confused and they leave the square root with it. It is not the square root included, just the number that's underneath of there, okay? Now here's the deal. Let me give you the lowdown. I'm going to come down here to this guy, and this is what the box is telling you, but I'm going to explain it in like idiot terms. Ready? If that number, I mean, it just makes more sense that way, okay? If that number is, let's say, a positive number, right? Let's do this. If it's a positive number, if your discriminant equals a positive number, like in -2 plus or minus the square root of 4 all over, I don't know, 2, let's say, right? If we have that going on there, if that's the case, what's my discriminant number? 4 is the discriminant, which means it's a positive number, right? We need to figure out how many answers you're going to have, right? What is the square root of 4?
1.
2. Okay, just wait. 2. And then what we'll have is we will have -2 plus 2 over 2, and we will have -2 minus 2 over 2, right? Like that's what will happen. -2 plus 2 is 0. This is 0 divided by 2, which is 0, okay? -2 minus 2 is -4 over 2, which is -2. So how many answers did I get when my discriminant was a positive number? 2 solutions. That means he's going to cross 2 places. If my discriminant is a positive number because of the plus and minus, I'm going to get 2 solutions. Got it? 2 places where he touches. Got it? Okay. Wait a second. What?
Okay, what's negative now?
The discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. Yes. What do you mean? What do you mean?
What are you
Up top.
No, it's
Oh. Yeah. Good call. It didn't get put on there. I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself. Yes. Write down b squared minus 4ac. Thank you, Trevin. I don't know. Anyway. All right. Next scenario. Let's say that I have this going on. Okay. Let's say I have that thing going on. In that case, what's my discriminant there?
0.
If my discriminant is 0, this is my discriminant. Okay. What is the square root of 0? 0, right? The square root of 0 is 0. Okay, so if I go and I try to break this down, this is -2 plus 0 divided by 2. And I have -2 minus 0 divided by 2. Okay? What's -2 plus 0? Divided by 2 is? -1. What about -2 minus 0 divided by 2? -1. So I get 2 answers that are the same answer, so I really get 1 solution. If my discriminant is 0, I'm going to get 1 solution. Do you see how that works? Because adding 0 and subtracting 0 are the same thing. Okay? So do you know what that looks like when you graph him? We've talked about this before.
It's the vertex.
It's the vertex. The vertex is touching there. That means I only have 1 solution. Got it? Okay, now, third scenario. This is the last scenario. If my discriminant is a negative number. If my discriminant is a negative number. So I'm going to use the same pieces here. And I'm going to do -4. And that's what I've got going on here. Okay? The square root, my discriminant is -4. This is him. Okay? What is the square root of -4?
Imagine.
2i. So this is plus and minus 2i all over 2. How many solutions does that give you?
2 technically.
2 complex solutions, but how many real solutions are there? 0. So this would be no solutions. You are right, there are 2 answers, but they're both complex technically. So there are no solutions there, which means this is going to be the case where he's floating, he's not touching. Does that make sense? So you can tell what's going to happen to the whole parabola by just doing b squared minus 4ac. You can see what scenario is going to take place. He's going to have 2 answers, 1 answer, or no answers, right? By just computing the discriminant. Yes, Ella?
So if you have a negative, can you just bring no?
If you have a negative, there's no solutions. Yes. Yes. Okay, got it? So that's what they say right here. And Zach was, let's see, Zach right here said 2 complex roots, which technically means that there's no real solutions. SOLNS. No real solutions. If you have 1 real rational root, that means you have 1 solution. And if you have this going on, you have 2 real solutions. Okay, so they're just writing 2 real rational roots or 2 irrational roots. 2 solutions, 1 solution, no solutions.
Perfect square will be rational. No perfect square is going to be irrational.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Like if b squared is a perfect square, yeah, then he will be rational. Yep. Okay. Otherwise, he'll be irrational because you'll have the square root of something. Yep. Good thought.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Let's go to the first example real quick. We'll do 1 example and then we'll stop. Yeah. Okay. All right. So is this one ready to be factored down? On example 4, is he ready?
Yes.
Yes, he's ready. Okay. What is A in this case? 2. B is negative 10. C is 7. Okay, b squared minus 4ac. That's all we're calculating. B is negative 10 squared. Minus 4 times A is 2 times C is 7. Okay? Negative 10 squared. Just FYI, whenever you are squaring a negative, it turns positive. If you don't put parentheses in your calculator, we'll tell you it's a negative number and you will get it wrong. So, if you have b squared, just ignore that negative altogether. Don't even type it in. If you type in negative 10 squared into your calculator, you will get negative 100 and it will give you the wrong answer. I'm just warning you now, okay? You have to either put parentheses or just leave the negative off in general. 100, and then 4, 2, and 7 make 56. 100 minus 56 is what? 44. How many solutions will I have?
You're going to have 2
Why?
because it's positive.
Because this is a positive number. My discriminant is positive, so I'm going to have 2 places where he crosses. All right? Good? Let's go to example 5, and then we'll just figure out how many solutions. So, here, is he ready to be solved?
Yes.
Yes. A is
Negative 5.
-5. B is
10.
10. C is
Negative 15.
-15. Okay? B squared. 10 squared minus 4 times A times C. Okay? 10 squared is 100. 4 times 5 times 15 is negative 300. And that is negative 200. How many solutions? No real solutions. I'm going to say no solutions. That means he is not going to cross because this is a negative number. You cannot have a square root of a negative. That's why he's not going to touch. Got it? Yeah. Homework. Okay, you should have 2 through 14, those guys, 2, 4, 6, 10, 14 done. These are the remaining ones. So please do those right now. Okay? I'm going to form a table over here. Should we form a table? We shall? Okay, let's do it. Yes, sir. All right, I'm going to stop the recording. Goodbye, Colton.